Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Everything Wrestling. Today we will be discussing Survivor Series from 1990. Now, this to me, in my personal opinion, was one of the best Survivor Series in terms of the superstars that were involved and the teams that were put together. So sit back, relax, and let me take you down nostalgia road as we revisit some of the main matches and attractions associated with Survivor Series 1990. So first up, I think this was one of the best matchups in honestly Survivor Series history. We had the Warriors, which was comprised of the Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado, and the Legion of Doom Road Warriors against the Perfect Team, which was Mr. Perfect and Demolition. All three members of Demolition, Axe, Smash, and Crush. And honestly, on paper, uh, this was a good matchup. I mean, pretty much you had technical skills, which would be Perfect and overall Tornado, but then you had brute force, which was Warrior, the Road Warriors, and Demolition. So this was a pretty good matchup, pretty good overall match. As you can see in the pictures, we used the Survivor Series background. So the background that came with that Survivor Series set that had the Gobbledygooker and Undertaker was perfect for this shot. We got the original Demolition with that new Perfect. That new Perfect head scan is spot on. Like that is to me one of the best reiterations of Mr. Perfect in my personal opinion. And then of course with the Warriors, we took it back to the old Hall of Fame Ultimate Warrior, which came with the blue strap ring eagle, and then we had the Texas Tornado. And remember, they only made two figures of the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. So you had the WWE version of the Texas Tornado, and then you had the WCCW slash NWA Kerry Von Erich version. The what was that? I think that was the modern day warrior version with the long robe. So very rare figure there. And then of course the road warriors. Um, yeah. So overall, the match, like I said, uh, pretty good match. I would definitely suggest checking it out. And the sole survivor out of that match was the Ultimate Warrior. Now the next matchup was the $1 Million Team, which at that time we knew the members included Ted DiBiase, Honky Tonk Man, and Boxcar Greg Valentine, which together they were called Rhythm and Blues. So of course we didn't know who the mystery man was, but we would find out that the mystery man was the Undertaker, accompanied by Brother Love, and they took on the Dream Team, which was comprised of Coco Beware, uh, Bret Hart, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which collectively they would call the Hart Foundation, and of course Dusty Rhodes. Now overall, that matchup, I would give a 5 out of 10, but that particular match was not remembered for the match itself. Like I said, it was remembered for Undertaker coming on the scene and dominating the match. So I think Undertaker, if my memory serves me correctly, I think Undertaker eliminated two people. First was Coco Beware that he eliminated with the quickness, and then ultimately he actually end up eliminating Dusty Rhodes. So which was a big thing. So it kind of set the standard for the person that we know now 30 years later, or plus 19, yeah, roughly 30 years later, and the domination that he did in that first match, and now to look at him now, um, he still, well, of course he's retired, but he was still a dominant factor. And then also remember that's when he was brought in by Brother Love, and then as you know, he would eventually be passed on to Ted DiBiase. So ultimately, that's the story and how that one went. But like I said, the dominance shown by the Undertaker was incredible. And now we're gonna skip around to the matchup between the Hulkamaniacs, which was comprised of Hulk Hogan, Jim Duggan, Big Boss Man, and Tugboat, against the Natural Disasters, which it was comprised of the Barbarian, Dino Bravo. It was originally supposed to be Rick Rude, but he was replaced by Haku because at that time Rude had left because I guess WWE owed him money, or he felt like they owed him money. So in the storyline, basically Rude had been feuding with Boss Man, and Tunney suspended him uh, for talking about his mama. Now think about that. That was kind of the dumbest reason to be suspended, but they had to do something to validate why Rude wasn't in the Survivor Series. So of course he was replaced by Haku. Now the match itself, of course, typical to me, it was a typical Hulk Hogan match. Hulk Hogan Earthquake battle ultimately. But it wasn't bad, sort of, if we want to say that. So it was definitely wasn't the best, but it was not the worst also. But again, it's like typical. It's like during that time, pretty much Hulk Hogan matches to me, when you look back on them, they all was kind of the same. So that's why this match was like, eh. But in the picture, as you can see, again, we got the old school back. We got the background, but we have the old Legends Hacksaw, which, in my personal opinion, this is one of Hacksaw's best figures. Um, the likeness is spot on. We also had that new Tugboat. I thought that was actually one of the better re-releases. This one to me was, in my personal opinion, was better than the original Tugboat release, due to the fact that you got the two heads, and one of the heads was the choo choo uh Tugboat face. So it definitely worked for that Tugboat. And then we have the Legends Hogan, which I mean, typical Hogan. I always feel like all Hulk Hogan figures now look the same. And then, of course, the Big Boss Man, which was his old Legends, or I think his old Elite Boss Man. So, yeah, like I said, I would say definitely check out that match too. But and remember, this was also during the time with this Survivor Series, the winner from each team met up at the end to see who was the sole survivor. So that was an additional niche that they added to the 1990 Survivor Series that kind of made it unique. So not only did we get the Undertaker, but we also got that additional piece that was added to the event itself. Now we know what Survivor Series 1990, in terms of the good points, what it was known for, but it has some uh, down points that it would be known for. And one of those was the unveiling of the gobbledygooker. Now, the concept was this turkey egg was going to hatch at Survivor Series. So they did all these different vignettes leading up to the birth or the hatching of something. We didn't know at that time if it was going to be the gobbledygook. We didn't know what was coming out of it. But yeah, that it was really dumb. We know now, what, 30 something years later, that was Hector Guerrero in the gobbledygooker outfit. So yeah, the whole thing was stupid. But on a good note, as you can see in the picture, when it comes to Mattel making this into a set, this was one of their best. I ain't gonna say best, but better sets. Very unique item, and I like how everything, the details in the way they put this box set together. So of course, this is the turkey egg that came with the gobbledygooker and Undertaker box set, and all the way down to how the egg cracked, the gobbledygooker, and the Undertaker. This was actually a very good set. So if you didn't pick it up, I mean, it was on sale on Amazon multiple times. Uh, it was on sale in other places. Yeah, this is definitely one set you don't want to miss if you was a fan of the that time period. But yeah, I really like this set, and of course, in the picture you can see Mean Gene leading up to the hatching of the gobbledygooker. So definitely say grab this set, but again, was not one of the best times or in, on a pay-per-view. And now in the final matchup, we had the Sole Survivor matchup. So on one end, you had on the face side. So of course the heels and faces. On the face side, you had the Ultimate Warrior, the Hulk Hogan, and Tito Santana facing off against Power and Glory, which was Paul Roma and Hercules, Rick Martel, and Ted DiBiase. So essentially, you had a 3-on-4 matchup. And again, this will be the first time that we will see Hogan and Warrior together. So this was after, I think this was after the Hogan Warrior WrestleMania lead up. Um, so we knew that they had battled and Hogan kind of passed on the torch, but we had never seen them team up as a force. So that was definitely one thing that stuck out. And of course, um, this match I would say was a pretty good match. It was typical Hogan Warrior dominance. I mean, we know that Hogan and Warrior are limited in their move sets, so you don't expect much. But Tito did well. Definitely, you had Power and Glory, Martel, and DiBiase who can go. That whole little, all four of them have shown that they can go. So they definitely did well with that match, and it was definitely something to see. And like I said, first time that they had done the whole Soul Survivor aspect of bringing all the winners together at the end and having them face off to see who was the Soul Survivor. And then our final picture, as you see, like uh previously stated, Hogan and Warrior won the Soul Survivor match. So in the picture, you can see during the actual match, Hogan and Warrior did the whole pose down, and Warrior showed respect to Hogan by raising the ropes for Hogan to leave, and in a gesture that, remember when Hogan fought Warrior and for the world title, and pretty much it was that same gesture. You know how Hogan kind of left the ring, let Warrior have his accolades. It was kind of Warrior almost kind of giving it back to him. Like, hey, you still are the Hulkster. And Hogan ultimately would tell Warrior, no, let me hold the ropes and, you go ahead. But two powerhouses, two of the main icons at that time, um, that was in the ring at the same time. And keep in mind, this was also the event where Macho would finally challenge Warrior for the world title. He won a world title shot, which would set up the next how do you want to call it? Basically, run between Macho and Warrior. And as we know, Macho would eventually cost Warrior the belt to Sergeant Slaughter. So that was further down the line. But yep. So that is Survivor Series 1990 in a nutshell. It's pretty good to have a lot of the figures from that event due to the remakes, the additional figures that we didn't have, and also, like I said, the addition of that Survivor Series background. And I'm also loving the fact that with these sets now, we're getting those background, old school background. So we've gotten the Survivor Series set, the background. We've gotten the Raw Attitude Era background, ECW, so WCW. So it's been nice to finally be able to get that, and I hope they continue that. That's definitely one thing as an old school collector that I am definitely happy to see. Um, Other than that, stay tuned to our future stuff that we have. We have a lot of stuff coming. So, of course, we got more Survivor Series coming. December, we got Saturday night's main event. Probably go Starrcade route because Starrcade was big for WCW in December. And if you haven't checked out our other episodes, make sure you go back and revisit a lot of those episodes because, again, these are the times that we grew up with. If you are 40, or I'm even say 38 and over, you remember a lot of these times. And this was what we felt was wrestling and entertainment. So these were good times, and a lot of things are connected to these good times, whether it be fond memories, uh, kid, showing, growing up with your kids, whatever it may case. But a lot of these times bring back good memories for a lot of us, and I am happy to uh, use my talent to try to rekindle a lot of those memories, especially in the times that we are in. So with that said, thank you guys for checking it out. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And thank you for those who continue to support us. We greatly appreciate it, and we do not take it take advantage of that. Um, until the next time, y'all stay safe out there and stay blessed. And I will catch you on the next go around.